The National Széchényi Library has started its web archiving project in 2017 that has become a permanent service from 2020. Main harvest types are focusing on domain, .hu domain and related materials, various themes and major political, cultural, sports events. We have started an event-based harvest based on the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, then war, from the 21st of February 2022 from 75 news portals in Hungary and in the neighboring countries. News collection primarily based on categories and texts that are being used on the portals, currently 445 seed URL. Harvests are running once a week. At the end of March, we tried to archive news retrospectively from January and February from those news sites where it is possible filtering to dates. The collection is not public, however, by the help of Thomas Egenze from the Danish National Library, we have created a SolarWayback-based public search interface. By this service, the full-text news are not available due to copyright reasons, but there is a full-text search function, metadata and textual context can be also displayed. From the beginning of March, we have created another thematic collection from websites and social media pages that are important to Hungarians living in the Transcarpathia region of Ukraine. This collection also includes those Facebook groups that are being intended to help refugees that arrived recently to Hungary. It contains more than 1,000 seed URLs. Harvests are running once a week. A special goal of this collection is to preserve endangered contents that can disappear from the live web due to the war. Archive datasets of both collections as big data are being used in a research projects that we are established together with our colleagues from the Digital Humanities Center of the National Library. In the following, a member of this center, Gyula Kalcsó, will describe their project activities.
The data that can be extracted from the harvested Warc files can be used for various data visualizations. In the current project, the aim was to create an animated word cloud that shows the change in frequency of the most frequent words during the war. First, the Digital Humanities Center staff extracted text from the works for NLP processing in 2 steps. In the first step, HTML parts were extracted from the Warc files using a Python library called Warc. This is a Warc streaming library that provides a fast, standalone way to read and write Warc format commonly used in web archives. The library is designed for fast, low-level access to web archival content oriented around the stream of Warc records rather than files. We then ran a Python module called JustText on the HTML files. The software has been developed at the Natural Language Processing Center of Masaryk University in Brno, Czech Republic, and relates to PhD research of Jan Pomykárek. It cleans the texts from the so-called boilerplate. It's designed to preserve mainly text containing full sentences, and it's therefore well suited for creating linguistic corpora. It strips the markup and recognizes text parts of the page that are not parts of the narrow content, for example menus, headers, footers, advertisements, and so on. JustText works in a language-specific way. The resulting texts were then used to run the modules of the chain of NLP tools called EMTSV, formerly known as e-Magyar, on them. This is a toolset for the analysis of Hungarian texts. It was produced as a collaborative effort of the Hungarian language technology community led by the Hungarian Research Center for Linguistics at the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. Currently, the center belongs to the Ötvös Loránd Research Network. The toolset is integrating the best state-of-the-art tools. It's been developed since 2016 as a free, open-source, modular text processing pipeline. The first module is tokenization, which breaks down the text into sentences and words. The lemmatization and morphological analysis separates the suffixes from the stems and the suffixes from each other. Part-of-speech tagging determines the possible and actual part-of-speech text. The resulting TSV files were processed by Linux commands. We filtered out the unwanted part-of-speech tags and then aggregated and sorted the data based on the different part-of-speech tags. The resulting frequency lists were manually cleaned of unnecessary parts. The lists therefore contain 3 columns: frequency, word, and part-of-speech tag. Word clouds can thus be created from the results of the harvest carried out at different times, which can be animated in a suitable way to visualize the change of the word usage of Hungarian news portals. The data can be plotted on a timeline in, for example, Power BI, with a variety of display options available with different settings. For the wider public, we created simpler word clouds. We also produced thematic illustrations, for example, on changes in the word usage of certain topics. On the first diagram, you can see the change of the frequency of various country names, except Russia and Ukraine. On the second one, there are politics-related words. This was a project that primarily provided insight into the data of the harvested web content for the general public, but similar methods can be used to create much more advanced, complex data visualizations. Thank you for your attention.